been saying I'm going to get one of these for a while actually. It's a Hartwood Speedway Vibrato. Well, it's got it all going on really, isn't it? And it's been designed, it's got a little bit of thought's gone into it. For £299, top marks. They're really nice guitars. What don't I like about it? The Guitaristas is proudly supported by Gear for Music. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So this week, I finally got one. I've been saying I'm going to get one of these for a while actually. It's a Hartwood Speedway Vibrato in greaser black. £299, 299 English pounds. It looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah, I've had me eye on this for a while, ever since I reviewed the Hartwood Charger last year, which of course ended the year as my budget guitar of the year, because I really rated it. I rated the originality and obviously the quality and the price. So second guitar from Hartwood, here it is. Now, full disclosure, Hartwood is one of the in-house brands of Gear for Music, who of course, they're now a channel partner, aren't they? You saw the logo, but don't worry, I paid for it. I bought it and paid for it with my own money, and they didn't know I was going to get it even. So it's not a sponsored review in that sense at all. If it's a bit shit, I'll definitely tell you, okay? Good news is I've had a look at it and I don't think it is. It looks pretty tidy. So should we get on with it? Timestamps in the description box if you're in a hurry. You can skip forward to hear what it sounds like or whatever. If you've got a little bit of time on your hands, you know the score, go and put the kettle on. Make yourself a nice cup of tea or something a little bit stronger. Get some nibbles, maybe a sandwich, because this will probably be about 40 odd minutes. Come back, chill out, and let's get under the skin of this and find out what it looks like and then hear what it sounds like. Right, let's get on with it. Prices and colours first. £299, I think I already said actually. And it comes in greaser black, lipstick red, blue suede, and this one, pearl blue, which is only £279 for some reason. So it looks to be a bit of a bargain, doesn't it? Shall we find out if it is or not? Right, specs, let's get on with it. It's got a basswood body, basswood, sorry for you guys out on the other side of the pond, and it's semi-hollow, as you can see. I might have a poke around in there later to see how far that goes, or we might be able to see when we take the pickups out to the extent of its semi-hollowness. Yeah, we'll take all that off. That'll be interesting. Well, it might be, if you like that sort of thing. So anyway, it's got a basswood body and it's got a set neck, and apparently the neck's made out of maple. It's got a nice comfort carve, as you can see. And it's got a sparkle in it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty bike shop, isn't it? So it's got a bit of weight to it. Let's find out what that is, shall we? Yeah. Right, here we go. Ooh, £9, 8 ounces. Crikey. Which is 4.32 kilos. I didn't expect it to be that hefty. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit hefty, that, isn't it? I, of course, always used to complain if guitars were a little bit too heavy, until, of course, I got my Les Paul Custom, which is a proper 10-pounder, and then apparently it didn't matter anymore. So it's each to their own. It can be off-putting. I don't know about this. We'll see what it sounds like, because if it sounds fabulous and plays fabulous, then it won't matter at all. But it's no lightweight, let's put it that way. What we'll do now is get the strings off and we'll dig a little bit deeper. Okay, let's have a closer look. It looks really tidy. I mean, this binding, this pearloid binding they call it, goes all the way around the body, and it's these Go Faster stripes are the same pearloid binding. They're not, they're not just stickers or whatever you'd like to call them in this. So I don't know how they do that, but you can feel them in the surface. But it's a really tidy job, I must say. And it's got a medium C-shaped neck. Let's have a look at the profile and measurements on the screen now. Okay, here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. So it's kind of, it feels on the sort of chunky side. Probably medium. Yeah, medium is probably fairer than chunky. The frets are medium jumbo. Now let's have a closer look at those now. It all feels good. There's no, I can't feel any sprout at all. The fingerboard here, it looks like rosewood, but the specs tell us it's a thermally treated maple, sort of a torrefied sort of stuff, but it looks like rosewood, doesn't it? It looks all right, doesn't it? Big block inlays. Now this is a 25.5-inch scale length from there to there. 25.5 inches of fender scale length. So it's kind of, or you'd expect it to be the Gibson scale length, but it's not. It's a fender scale length. And the fretboard radius, the specs tell us it's 14 inches, which is very flat. So what I thought I'd do is just fact check that with my little widgets. Radius gauges. I've got a 12 and a 14. Let's try the 14. Yeah, it's 14. Or 12. They both look the same. Yeah. I'm not a great one for detail. Yeah, 14. There's probably not a lot of difference between the two, is there? So there, and bone nut. Bone nut looks tidy enough. I haven't really played it very much yet, so I can't really speak for the tuning stability. Of course, it's got the tuners. They've got this nice Grover style kidney bean frontage, and then of course that's gonna fall off. Let's take the bridge off. Let's flip it. They're locking tuners. Okay, there you go. Locking tuners, all chrome, as is the bridge. Now this is quite special. They call it a Vibra roller. And it's a roller bridge, and it's multi adjustable. It's got multiple adjustments on it with grub screws that side and that side, so you can adjust it backwards and forwards. I, of course, now didn't take any notice of which way it came off, so I'm going to have to work that out later. But you can individually intonate the saddles, which we might have to do. But that's a pretty cool thing. It's kind of, I mean, it's definitely got a kind of a Duesenbergy feel about this. Although that bridge, I do know, was also on the Charger that I reviewed last year. It makes absolute sense if you're using the vintage Vibrato, which is what they call this, incidentally, which is obviously based on the Bigsby B5, the horseshoe style one. Because, the Bigsbys are fine, or Vibratos are fine, but they can catch at the bridge. A lot of people just put a bog standard Tune-o-matic on there with the sharp saddles, which is daft, quite frankly, with the Vibrato, because it's not going to work especially well. and it can also catch at the nut if that's not well cut. But we'll find out, you know, about the tuning stability in a bit. Let's move on. Pickups, 2 chrome covered humbuckers. Let's take the readings. Right, now apparently this has got 2 volumes and 1 tone. Let's find out what's what. So that would be presumably the bridge. The reading's 13.5 kilo ohms, and they're all on 10. Presumably that's the neck at 7.4 kilo ohms. Middle 4.79. Now, it doesn't say this in the specs, but it's got some kind of split. There you go, all there, split it already. Bridge, so that would be a coil split or a coil tap, one or t'other. Is that the same in, oh yeah, that affects the neck pickup as well. Okay, so it looks like that splits both of the coils. So we'll play around with that when we've plugged it in. Cool. Well, let's see what we can see in here. I've loosened it all. Ooh, crikey. Let's start here then, shall we? You can see that. I can't honestly tell you what we're looking at there. Is it some kind of shielding? It looks like some kind of, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what that is, but let's see if I can flip this. Show you what I can. Little mini pots. Got a push-pull and a sort of a switchcrafty looking switch. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. What's the white gunk for? Let me know if you know. Let's have a look at the pickups. Ooh. Same here. It's kind of, it's like a foam or something they've sprayed in there for some reason. And the pickups are donghongs. We've seen those before, haven't we? CH2N, and in the bridge it's a donghong CH4B. There you go. So that's all there is to see. I'm just, yeah, that only goes as far as there. So there's a kind of a hollowed out bit there where the F hole is, which explains the weight, I suppose. All right, let's put that back together, put some strings on, and see what it sounds like. See you in a minute. Here we are. I thought I'd dig out the old leather jacket in honour of the guitar. Today, Matthew, I'm a greaser. That's what it sounds like, unplugged. Pretty good, actually. Right, same board as usual. Have a look. Same amp as usual up here. Back to the Princeton 65 this week. Here we go. This is what it sounds like plugged in. We'll start on the bridge pickup. And if you remember from the readings, this was quite high readings and the neck was quite low. I think I said there they were both hot. That one's not. That one's kind of more PAF-y like, was just under 8K, I think. That one was around the 14s, I think, wasn't it? So, here we go. Let's get that out of the way for a minute. so that's the bridge volume. Neck. Oh, that's all right, isn't it? I like that. Middle. Loses a bit of edge there. See what this push-pull does. Right, on the bridge, right, first without it. Coil splitting it. All together. Funky. Enough of that. Do you know what? It sounds fucking great. Bit of clone. Give it a bit more brightness. In the room, it sounds quite on the darker side, but it's still got a bite. I guess, you know, and I think probably the heft of the guitar, because it's, you know, it's under £10, but it's 9/8, wasn't it? So it gives it that, a darker edge, I think. I think that is definitely a thing. And sometimes if a guitar's too heavy, it takes all the brightness out of it completely, but it's not necessarily the case with this, is it? Let's do something. Well, before we do that, let's just see if the controls actually work. Volume. Oh, that's the wrong knob. You know what it's like when you reach for the wrong knob. I don't know why I said that. I might cut that bit out. Works, which is important because that's quite saturated. That's what that is. And just roll it off so it cleans it up. Some nice noises out of it. Tone. The right knob. We've had worse. There's a new gang in town. I think that's what I'm going to say on the thumbnail, because I'm impressed. The second Hartwood we've reviewed, and my opinion is the same. They're really nice guitars. They're robust. I've called it hefty today. It's not overweight, but it's solid. It really does feel solid. I mean, so I suppose you'd say it doesn't feel cheap and flimsy. And I think some budget guitars can. They feel a little bit unfinished. And clearly there's nothing unfinished about this. It's wrapped up in this lovely pearloid binding. And it's got it all going on, really, isn't it? Okay, I mean, it's a cheap guitar, so, you know, bear in mind I've got that in mind. I've got that firmly in mind when I judge, well, every guitar I review. The price is a massive part of this assessment, this summing up at the end. There's the price, and there's, you know, build quality. What did it sound like? You know, what were the pickups like? What the electronics like and stuff? And price really obviously factors into that. You know, so I'm not comparing this with a high-priced. I was going to say I'm not comparing this with a high-priced Gibson, but you know, you might want to really. You might want to and say, why are they charging that when this is this, only this? We know the answer to that in terms of labour costs and stuff. But I mean, even Epiphones, well, we're talking about Epiphones again, are we, Cole? Yeah, why not? Because some of those are quite wacky prices, aren't they? And this is, well, I don't think there are any Epiphones as cheap as this now. I believe this is made in China. I believe so. I don't know for sure. They probably like, I'm sort of discovering that a lot of budget guitars move their manufacturing around to different factories due to availability of slot. I mean, I think what they do, I'm not saying this specifically about Hartwood, I'm saying this about other things that I've heard about other manufacturers. They move their manufacturing slots to availability, to factories, you know. So you might get a Fender that's made in this factory, or an Epiphone even that's made in this factory or this factory, depending on who can accommodate the production. I might be wrong, but I'm kind of picking up, you know, signals, words on the wire, signal. I don't know. You know what I mean? So anyway, back to the Hartwood Speedway. What I'm saying about this brand is that I think they're being a bit disruptive, because what they're managing to do is put a little bit of originality in the design of the guitars that they're making. They've got a fairly small range in the Hartwood range at the moment. I'll put a link in the description box so you can check it out. They've only got, I think I'm right in saying they've got about 5 or 6, well, six models in the Hartwood range, various SKUs, stock units, that is, if you weren't sure. You know, different colours on on the different models. You know, different pickup configurations, perhaps. Check it out. Links there. Have a look. At least three of those 5 are what I would say nigh on close to original designs. Okay, I mean, you know, they're influences from different things. The charger that I reviewed before, you know, it's got influences that go back somewhere. You know, and you can go, oh, that looks a bit like that. This one, it's, you know, it's kind of like a bit of a love child of clearly a Les Paul and a Duesenberg for sure, maybe Yamaha. You know, it's got influences, but it's been designed. That's what I'm saying. It's been designed. It's got a little bit of thought's gone into it to give it a hint of originality, quite a lot of originality, I think, this. Whereas if we use Thomann as an example for their Harley Benton in-house brand, look on their website, there's over 1,000 SKUs, variations of the models, lots of, over hundreds of models. I'm going to say lots of different models, but they're, as far as I can tell, all knockoffs of something or other. T-styles, S-styles, Les Pauls, PRSs, Ibanez's, pointy guitars, Rickenbackers now, Brian May guitars, they're all knockoffs. As far as I could tell, and I might be wrong, but as far as I could tell, there was nothing that's got any real originality about it. So, top marks the Hartwood. I'm looking forward to see what they add, what they come out with next. They've got they've got a task really, because I think that the Charger, and there's another one, the Daytona 1 and Daytona 2 that I haven't reviewed yet, but I'm gonna. That's kind of sort of a Firebird inspired one. There's a picture of that. I'm going to grab one of them soon, see what that's like, and hopefully they'll be doing some more stuff. And they do some amps as well, or they did some valve amps and stuff. So I should be looking at them out of my own curiosity, nothing else, because I've had this on my radar for months. Well, ever since I got the Charger, I thought, I'm going to get another one, and definitely the Daytona as well. I've always intended to get these and reviewed them. Now, what don't I like about this? When I first unboxed it, I was drawn towards the knobs. I'm drawn towards these knobs, as you might have noticed earlier. And my first impression was, they look a little bit plasticky. I totally got used to that. And I'm still not sure if they are plastic or metal. And I didn't pull one off to find out. And I'm not going to do that now because I need to crack on. But that was the first thing. But actually now I think, no, actually it does really work with the design. So I'm not, I'm over that. What don't I like about it? I don't know. I don't think there's anything I don't like about it, actually. Obviously, under the skin, it's pretty messy under there, wasn't it? God knows what all that gunk was. I don't know. If anyone knows, please explain. There was some kind of spray foamy gunk in there. But it's hidden, and it wasn't the most tidy guitar, under the skin. But it all works, and no one sees that. Most people don't pull guitars apart and show that, do they? They'll be mortified that I've done that and shown you, quite frankly. But it doesn't affect the playability. It's got, standard little mini pots. The push-pull, I don't like push-pulls, but it worked, so you could, it's a bonus. They don't even list it in their specs, so that's almost like free. And the switch works pretty well. And the tuning stability, that was fine. As you saw, I was actually using the whammy bar. Again, for £299, top marks. It's a winner. So there you go. That's my review of the Hartwood Speedway. Cracking little guitar. Is available in several colours. Links in the description box. You might want to get in quick if you fancy one, because when I reviewed the Charger before, they sold out pretty quick, and they're out of stock till May, I think it is. So have a look if you fancy one. Incidentally, they do ship. It sounds like a sales pitch now. It's not. I'm telling you because you want to know. They do ship to the United States. If you're prepared to pay the shipping and the tariffs that are probably on the way, because nobody else is going to, are they? So that's it. All for me from this week, for this week. I'll see you next week. Don't know what I'm doing, so come back, same time, same place, and let's find out together. Yeah, because I don't know. See you then. Ta-da.